Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, dive in some TA. All right, guys, we got a pretty juicy day going on here. All right, so we got a bunch of big green candlesticks across the board on these daily charts, and we're going to talk about them today. We're going to kick it off with the indices. We'll go over the big tech stocks. We'll go over the semiconductors. We got some Bitcoin stocks for you. And then I have the trade ideas at the end of the video. So stay tuned. All right, guys, we're going to kick it off here with QQQ. And I will point out you got a nice big bullish engulfing candlestick on all right volume. All right, it was decreasing volume. But, I'm going to be completely honest. I think big tech stocks are just waiting for the big boy leader NVDA to see where we're going next. Which I'm just going to say we're definitely positioned for some upside on, almost every chart I'm going to show you here today. All right, so pretty big common theme today was also we closed right underneath these daily 9 EMAs. Guys, if we gap above these things tomorrow and come back to flipping that support, that is a recipe for further upside. All right, so here on QQ, that would kind of look something like this. You gap up above the 9 EMA, maybe you give it a little push. You come back, you flip 503.52 over here as support, and then you can potentially run up to 506.41 and then the 507.77 gap that's sitting right here. We should have a gap here within another gap, so we will see how that goes. All right, but honestly, this is the exact path I'm kind of leaning for price to take tomorrow. You had a double bottom get put in over here, an ugly double bottom, and then you came back down to the golden pocket right here. All right, golden pocket inception kind of action right here. Right, you have this whole leg up here, came back, found buyers here in the golden pocket, 0.618 fib right here, bounced up. All right, sold around this 501.01 resistance, came back down, found buyers this morning off of the next 0.618 fib, the next golden pocket, and then you pushed up and you broke through that neckline that you created here at 502.14. All right, so this is kind of why I'm thinking we probably are going to have continued upside tomorrow. You got kind of a lot of charts looking exactly like this, and they did end up just printing solid wide body green bars, and the structure throughout the day kind of printing like this. We have a very similar chart over here on Amazon. We're going to talk about it later in the video. But back over here to QQ, guys, your resistance for tomorrow is going to be 503.52. But like I said, gap up above it right now. Futures having a slight move up on the overnight session. Gap up above this level, come back, flip it 503.52 into support. And I think we potentially could be on our way to 506.41 and then 507.77. Now, the other day, coming into the week, we knew we were looking for a 2 to 4% bounce on the NASDAQ from Friday's low. Guys, today we just about completed that 2% bounce. So, I'm just going to say NVIDIA earnings is tomorrow after the bell. Maybe it's, not the best idea to do anything beforehand. All right. I'm not saying don't trade intraday price action, but, that kind of is a wild card there. I can point to how the charts are set up. They're definitely set up in a bullish manner. There's no denying that one. But that is definitely going to be a wild card. So we're going to have to see what happens after the bell. It is a very big stock. It is, that's why I called it the leader before. I was figuring NVIDIA was going to be running into, earnings over here or consolidating, which means the market was probably going to get dragged up with it or consolidate. I didn't think we were going to be moving down. Now I'm just going to come back over here to the NASDAQ. On the 4-hour chart, I'm going to point out just the structure we have here, guys. You had this double bottom sitting here. Okay. And what happened, guys? You did break above that neckline. You came back to retest it. And so far, you are finding buyers giving you, a little push here. Okay. If you can get above, 865 here, you're probably going to have a straight shot up to 21,054. And, honestly, doesn't really matter about this 865 level there. You break above here, we're probably coming up there. Take the measured move right there, 1.5%. Where do you think I got this number from? Well, of course, it's just this level top here. But it is also going to be the measured move of this double bottom breakout. You come over here to ES, we have the exact same look, guys. All right. And notice how you have a 4-hour bullish divergence here as you have that same exact double bottom breakout. NQ, what do we have over here? You have the double bottom breakout with the bullish divergence here on the 4-hour RSI. You want to see something else, guys? Is that 3 out of 4 major indices here have this same exact look. You also hit it with the ugly double bottom there, and you are starting to break out from that. And what is that paired with? Your 4-hour bullish divergence. Okay, what creates the bullish divergence, guys? When price makes a lower low and the oscillator makes an equal high or a higher high. Over here, you have the RSI being at 29.79. Over here, you have it being at 29.95. That is, an ever so slight higher high over there. We have a bullish divergence on 3 out of 4 major indices, and 2 out of 4 have came down and tested the golden pockets. They all have this look to them. It's very likely we're going to be seeing upside from here. I'm just going to, say that up front here. Coming back over here to QQQ. On the upside, guys, 503.52, 506.41, 507.77, and then 509.83. Those are the levels that you are going to be paying attention to. On the downside, all right, let's say you gap above 503.52. Well, now you're going to be watching the support. Underneath there, 502.14, 501.01, and then underneath there, guys, you don't really have much. All right, we had a straight vertical move up, so we're just going to watch this uptrend here, okay? And we talked about it, break the uptrend, okay, which the lower trend line of this rising wedge pattern here. Break that, bad things are probably going to happen. I pointed out this was the last major trend line break you had over here. All right, what happened? You started to slip, and then you fell off a freaking cliff. I'm not saying that's going to happen because I don't think that's going to happen, but that is what's on the table if you cannot hold that trend line here. Okay, so that's it for QQQ. We're going to come over here to SPY. Where are we finding buyers, guys? We're finding them right on where we were paying attention to. Here on the weekly time frame, we were saying, when we were way up here in the sky, we were saying, hey, this is the ideal spot to pull back to. Why? Because this is where the most recent structure was after we had our major impulsive move up within like 2 days. All right, boom, and then boom. And then you continue, it was technically 4 days, but most of the move happened in 2 days there, and then you grinded higher. Point is, you pull back this around the 50% retracement. If we were just to come over here and we throw on that bad boy, you're right here on the 50% retracement that happens to align with the breakout zone we are expecting buyers stepping off of 583.32 to 586.12. Well, you're holding that, and now it does look like you are going to be getting a little bounce here. You closed right here on the daily 9, but I also want to point out, just like the NASDAQ over there, you have the same double bottom look, and what is happening? You broke above it, you retested it, and you're starting to find buyers giving that start of continuation. All right. So, above 590.20, guys, you have absolutely nothing. Okay. Now you're going to have today's high. So we watched that. But, above today's high, 591.04, you got nothing until 592.65. I have to assume that move is coming. All right. You get above here tomorrow. You have to assume this move is coming. And if that move comes, we can see it. This is where the structure is at. This is where you really broke down from. Okay. 594.37. So that's what I'm going to be watching. Your resistance for tomorrow, 591.04, 592.65, 594.37. If things get real freaking bonkers, 597. Okay. I'm not saying you go straight up there, but we're bullish on this dip. I really hope you guys are making money. And guys, we were just talking about in the Discord, and you don't have to just play short-term expirations. If you are not someone who is, consistent with your trading, you can, there is a way. There is a method to the madness, and the way is just give yourself some time, okay? I point out a lot on this channel, all right, pretty consistently, guys, on the main big tech stocks and the semiconductors, and then the Bitcoin stocks, and then these indices. I point out so many opportunities for you, and you just have to stay patient. If you are having trouble staying patient, and if you are having trouble with consistency in your trading, all right, I will show you the method to the madness. You can take 50% off. I'm starting a Black Friday sale very early. It's going to be running until the end of the month, so no pressure. No need to rush, but just know that is there. Link is going to be down below. It is code Black Friday. And you can see the method to the madness in real time. All right. And you can, potentially generate some money for yourself while you're learning. That, will go for the lifetime, the annual, the quarterly, and the monthly. Okay. But I promise, guys, there is a way to continuously get these 50 to 100% gains. It only takes a 2 to 4% move on any of the big tech stocks or the semiconductor stocks to get that 50 to 100% move on 1 to 2 month out options. You do not have to rush things. You do not have to play short-term options. Okay. You can do things like, I'm out of breath. You could do things like this. All right. January calls down here are already up 30 to 40% on this one day. Guys, this was not a big move. This is not a big move. Give it another 2%, you're up 100%. Okay. I'm targeting 233.64 to 235.65 here. You're going to be up 100%. There are things like that. There are things like this. Okay. There are things like this. There are things like this. Okay. Things like this. Move hasn't started yet. And things like this. All right. These are all like, we can go through all the big tech stocks and it's the exact same. As long as you're not playing with juiced premiums, you will get that 50 to 100% gain on your contracts 2 months out with a 2 to 4% move. That is just how it always works. Like I said, method to the madness. All right, resume, update. Okay. So, support on SPY, guys. Let's say we start coming to the downside. I don't want to see that happen, but what are we going to be paying attention to? Golden pocket. All right, let's take off that 50% retracement. I just wanted to, point it out clear as day over here with a little gray line. All right. If you do not hold 589.49, we're going to be looking for a retest of 586.70. I'm not saying that's going to happen, okay? Because, in reality, you're going to really have this neckline. So, really, if you lose 588.50, we're going to call it, then you're probably going to start heading back down towards over here. I don't think that's going to be the case, though. I think it's much more likely with, how things are set up with these double bottom looks that we get these measure moves and we continue to the upside. So I'm going to be targeting 592.65 and 594.37 in the short term. All right. Now moving over to IWM, and this is definitely a chart that gives that same exact vibe, except, on crack. All right. This thing is crazy looking. This thing just broke out from, months of consolidation. It was very unlikely that this is all we are going to see from that. 3 to 4 months of consolidation just broke out to the upside. You just retested 226.64, guys. If you're not already following the Twitter, go click the link down below and go follow the Twitter. I said, give me 226.64. Give me blood. All right. Just a few days ago. I think it was on this day right here. What happened? It was the exact perfect entry. And that's what I'm saying. The method to the madness, guys. Combine patience with some time on your plays. I will point them out for you if you would like. I swear they come like, almost every single week we get a wave of them. All right. There's times to be patient. All right. Take your profit on the rip. I'll definitely scream and shout about that one. I'll remind you so hard. All right. Here on this channel, here and everywhere you're listening to me, I will scream and shout about it. Take the profits. Times to, be aggressive. Times to be patient. Take your profits, and then you wait for it. And there are your times to pounce. Okay. This morning was the time to pounce. Now we are at 229.84 resistance. We closed above there. So that is out the way. That's derived from all the way over here. And above there, guys, we have the daily 9. Get above there. Give it that gap up tomorrow morning. We're talking 233.64 and 235.65 is completely on the table. Like I said, 2 month out options down here are going to be at 100% up here. You do not have to go crazy with these if you want to literally just continuously get these 50 to 100% gains. 2 to 4% moves on any of the stocks I go over every single day. That is all you need, guys. And I will point out the ideal entry points. That is IWM for you. Support 229.84. And then we have 226.64 underneath. If that does not hold, you're watching this uptrend. But with how we just closed out with this bullish engulfing candlestick right from the breakout level, I have to assume we're going to be seeing 233.64 and 235.65 in the short term. That is IWM. DIA. Now, this is the ugly guy of the bunch. That is okay, guys. That's okay. He's part of the gang. We're going to talk about him too. It doesn't matter if he's ugly. We're going to talk about him. All right. At the end of the day, you did lose your breakout zone, but you reclaimed it. Now you are underneath the 9 EMA there. Okay. But you're holding the 21. And with the other things looking as great as they are, I have to assume this is going to follow suit. All right. So above 433.20, we're watching 437.79. Support is going to be 431.42. And if that cannot hold, you have absolutely nothing until you come down here to 427. That is where the golden pocket starts. Okay. Now I'm just going to, before we move on to the, large tech stocks there, the big tech stocks, I'm going to point out, just like I just did, 4-hour bullish divergence. This is NQ. Double bottom breakout. Clear skies until 21.054. ES. All right. Double bottom breakout. Clear skies until 5986.75. No financial advice, just my opinion. 4-hour bullish divergence right there. Almost tapped that 0.618 fib. RTY. 4-hour bullish divergence. Tapped the 0.618 fib. Golden pocket test. Broke out from the double bottom. And now you have open skies to 2386.5. 2386.5. YM, all right. It's a bit of an ugly boy over here, okay? It is. You break above 43,621, we're looking at 43,897. That is your futures game plans for upside. There is your roadmap, guys. I hope you have some fun with it. Tesla, all right. I hope we're having some fun with this guy. All right. I'm hoping you guys traded this dip like a buying opportunity, just like we did. All right. There are times to be patient. There are times to pounce. All right. When the setup is there, the setup is there. Tesla, guys, if you can get above 348.55, I think you're probably going to push up to 358.64. And then I think we get a straight shot up to 384.29. All right. I think that is the next spot that is incoming over here. I think it could come quick. All right, you bullish engulfing candlestick. Okay, you engulfed. That is what I was trying to say. You engulfed yesterday's indecision candlestick. You had that, spinning top kind of look to you. It was reminding me of this look right over here. But at the end of the day, you closed out with an indecision candlestick and not a shooting star. So it wasn't the worst look. All right, but you did, you stalled that right at the 0.786 fib. It was not making me happy. Regardless, you found buyers and bought that right up today. I do have to assume this is probably going higher. Okay. This thing it's no joke right now. This thing wants to run. That was reversion to the mean. That was where you wanted to pounce. 313.61 to 299.29. We pointed that out as the Tesla buy zone, just like we pointed out IWM buy zone 223 to 227. And now we're probably about to bust it up over 358.64. That's Mr. Tessie. Okay. Amazon. Where did we point out? The buy zone over here, the buy area, around that 200 previous sell wall. All right, so you retest, you found buyers off the 21 EMA 3 days in a row. We are probably going to be holding that. And we're probably going to be pushing it back up, all right? I told you at the beginning of the video, common theme over here was you closing right here underneath the daily nines. We're going to have to see if we get a gap above these tomorrow. I think we probably are, but I am not sure. Okay, again, NVIDIA earnings is tomorrow after the bell, and that will be moving the market. So for all I know, the market's going to consolidate and wait. But with how these charts are set up and NVIDIA earnings aside, these things look ready to run. All right. So Amazon, same look over here on the hourly chart. You have the bullish divergence over here, right there, with your double bottom, and you are trying to break out. Neckline is going to be 204.67. Get above there. Open skies up to 207.35 and then 210.05 above there. That'll be where that next golden pocket is. We're coming over to Meta. We have a very similar look over here, except you're just right on support. You're holding support over here. But what do you have here at the bottom? Okay. The magnet decided to turn on. That's okay. You have a little double bottom action going on with the neckline being 559.90. You closed above that today. And you do have the hourly bullish divergence, excuse-moi. All right. Above here, guys, you could see you fell off the face of the earth. Okay. We don't have a lot of structure here. If I was to point something out, it's going to be right here at 565.36. And then, after that, guys, Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'll call it 572.57, 576.51. You know, you look on the daily time frame. Yeah, you're probably going to have a quick recovery up around here, 572.57 to 576.51. And, you know, same concept, guys. You buy 1 to 2 months out down here, you get up here, you're probably going to be up around 100%. Not looking too shabby. Okay. I'm liking how Meta's looking. If we were to keep falling, you know, I bought a little bit early over here, but you know, I was thinking we probably aren't going to test 542.81 because everyone's watching it. And if we were to test it, you know, you got 1 to 2 months to see that bad boy play out. You can see on the weekly chart, guys, you know, big confluence area here. You have the weekly 21 and you have your big break and retest level at 550, 542.81. All right, things are looking juicy. We're going to come over here to Goog. What do we got going on over here? Okay, guys, you pulled back to the golden pocket and now you pushed up to the next golden pocket. If you can get above 181.60, you probably are going to run up to 183.79. And then I think you're probably going to start heading towards all-time highs. The dip was a buying opportunity, ladies and gents. You know, we're going to have to wait to see what NVIDIA earnings do, but things are looking real good over here on these charts. They look like they want to run. That is Goog. Come on over to Apple. Also doesn't look too bad. You rejected the trend line again, we were pointing out. Guys, kind of got that inverse head and shoulders kind of structure. You're rejecting 230.19. Second day in a row here, 230.618 fib, as well as your downtrend right there. If you get above 233, that's when you run. Honestly, out of all these charts I'm showing, Apple is, you know, I don't think we should be focused on Apple. This thing has been doing absolutely nothing for a while. Yeah, it's giving you some movement, but it's all chop. You want to avoid the chop. It's not going to help you if you're playing options, I promise. Bullish engulfing candlestick over here on Microsoft, decreasing volume, all right? But, you know, like I pointed out in the beginning of the video, I think Big Tech is just waiting on the leader to report that earnings. And we're going to see what happens after that. But you did find buyers for the third day in a row in the golden pocket here, going from here to up here. All right, so golden pocket test, third day in a row, found buyers. You do have, you know, the 21 and the 9 right above. I honestly would love to see gap ups tomorrow, all right? But regardless, I think things are set up to run. Support is going to be 416.16. You don't really have anything in between here. This was your range. 426.10 is the top of that range, you know, right around there. Expect sellers. All right, now come on over here to SMH, guys. Chips, I told you yesterday, I think chips are leading the way right now. They're showing the strength. You know, I know we just showed some bullish big tech charts, but, you know, right here, you are getting these popping up here. All right, you're watching 247.38 if you were playing SMH. And, you know, that's about it. Let me transition into the big boy, the leader himself, NVIDIA. Big green day. I think you're probably going to pop up to the high over here before earnings. I'm bullish biased on these earnings, just with how, you know, I pointed out. We're going to talk about Avgo right here. So this is Avgo's daily chart. You know, daily RSI is right above the spot where for the last 1.3 years, it has found buyers every single time. And it has marked a very decent bounce here. Okay. I don't think this is going to be different. If you come down and test it, downside is limited. And this really is the chip chart here that's making me think that if you pull back to 160.41, expect buyers down there. Why? The daily RSI is going to be in that 35.5 spot. I don't think this time is going to be different. We got a 1, we got a 2, a 3, a 4, 5, a 6. Okay. You know, I do not think this time is going to be different. Give it some time. I think you're going to have a really good time over here. Earnings are on December 12th. So, you know, I went with December 6th over here. I like the 170s. They're still, you know, they're still relatively cheap. I think we're probably going to be pushing up here. As you get that $5 move, you're looking at about 50%. You get up here 172.60. The chances are you're 80 to 100% on those, all right? You're going to be looking really juicy, okay? But, you know, back over here in NVIDIA, guys, this thing really is going to depend on earnings, but I have a feeling it looks like it wants to push up above 149.77 tomorrow, which makes me think everything's probably going to be pushing up a little bit more tomorrow. That's why I got this bullish bias. Everything looks pretty darn juicy to me. TSM hit it with the gap and go today. All right, so you gapped up, and, you know, although it wasn't a big move here, you did hold it. And, you know, again, if NVIDIA is going up, chances are the other chip stocks are going to follow suit. Not going to say there's a lot of anything going on here. You got to get above the 21 EMA and the 9 EMA right here, which are in this cluster spot. So we'll call it 193.47. Get above there. We're watching 198.17, then 205.20. But, you know, here on the weekly chart, it's not looking all that bad. All right. Big red bar. The first green bar is what marked the, you know, end of these. Okay. Well, now you got that stemming from the next golden pocket there. I like the look of it. AMD over here, guys, you did bounce at 133.74, and now you're finding resistance at 139.72. You're finding sellers there at 139.72 resistance for the second day in a row here. Get above there. You're watching the daily 9 here, which is going to be right around 141.50, right around there. Get above there. We're watching 143.64 and then 148.01 and then 150.52, which is where you saw sellers stepping over here. Coming over to ARM, guys. I was really hoping this thing came down. It would be picture perfect, but, you know, it's not looking like that is going to be the case. You actually can mark out this golden pocket, the most recent one. I was looking for the retracement of the whole move here. You didn't get it. But, you know, you are technically finding buyers in the golden pocket. There's that here in the 4-hour time frame. RSI almost got, you know, oversold over there. Regardless, it's looking pretty juicy. But, you know, again, you got these short-term moving averages that you're going to have to get above. Resistance is going to be 138.40. That's going to align with these short-term moving averages. Get above there. We're watching 147 and then 152.22. MU. Okay, this is MU's daily chart here, guys. You know, you're finding buyers for the third day in a row, right on this gap, right above the 0.786 fib here. You got to get above 98.94, and from that point, you're back in this massive range we got going on. All right, and from that point, we're going to mark out that, mark out gap resistance, and we're going to mark out the gap. Okay, so those are the resistance levels you're going to watch. If you can reclaim 98.94, you're going to have 102.07, which is going to align with the 21 and the 9. Get above there, 105.09, and then 106.77 gap above. That's what you're watching for. Now let's look at some Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin honestly does look like it wants to run a little bit more. I will point out you got a daily bullish, bearish divergence at this point. You know, you had one right here. You sold from there. You had one put in over here. You know, it took some time, but, you know, you came back up. Made the, regardless, you had this big old sell over here. You know, these things typically do bring sells, but I will point out, you know, with where Bitcoin's RSI just got to on this impulsive move, I have to assume this thing's about to be burnt. All right. I think we're probably going to see Bitcoin go a little bit higher here in the short term. All right. So, you know, no matter what, these other stocks I'm going to show you guys, they're going to be moving off Bitcoin. So, you know, they're going to be following this guy. This does not look so bad. The weekly chart does not look bad at all whatsoever. Pullback would be a buying opportunity. All right. But we don't know how this is going to go. It looks like it wants to, you know, continue higher from here. You just got this breakout. Well, almost, but, you know, you also got that. You can see here on the hourly time frame. All right. You got that breakout as well over there, and you started trending higher. Guys, it's still looking like it wants to run. Okay. It looks like it wants to keep running. So, you know, for all I know, these things are going to keep running. MSTR, though, guys, this daily RSI now is at the same exact spot where you pulled back over here. How big was that pullback, you ask? It was like 10%. It was like 18%. Sweet baby Jesus, okay? Do you see how heavy this volume was today, though? I have to assume this thing's going to go up, and, you know, maybe it just grinds higher the next 1 to 2 days. But we definitely had, you know, volume pouring up the wazoo into this thing, and I have to assume it's going to continue. Regardless, I mean, premiums are so juiced, it's ridiculous. There's not really a reason to play this at this point. I would be playing coin if you want to play anything. MSTR had a 12% day, and then you come over here to something like coin, and it traded flat, guys. I have to assume this thing wants to break above 331.70 resistance because it's just consolidating underneath it here. You know, you didn't sell down. It doesn't look like it's going to pull back. You just got your pullback reversion to the mean. You bounced it off the break and retest over here. And then you also found buyers on that daily 9. It's looking pretty sexy over here, and it looks like you want to bust above 331.70 and then push up to 368.90. And that would be your peak over here. And after that, you have the 429.54 IPO all-time high. I think $400 is incoming. Maybe it takes some time, but that is where I think this chart is heading. Weekly chart, definitely nothing to be bearish about over here. Come over here to Riot. All right. Miners, guys, they didn't really participate in this. All right. Well, Riot, did not participate in this. You're still just consolidating. You're in the spot where you're looking for buyers to start stepping back in. But, I shared my opinion yesterday. Don't be mad at me. It's just an opinion. If you want to participate in the Bitcoin rally, MSTR and Coin, they're going to be your best friends. Riot, CLSK, Mara, Wolf, Hut, these things are not going to be your best friends. They've been bipolar. Okay. They have not. Some days they run with it really well. And then other days they do nothing. While we see MSTR and Coin just rocket ship. I know Coin didn't rocket ship today, but you get the point there. It's moving a lot. You could see the difference in between this and something like CLSK. All right. But over here, guys, CLSK did end up getting buyers right where we would expect buyers to be at. You have the 21 here, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is you have the 12.99 most recent breakout level here, as well as the 0.618 fib sitting right below it. All right. So actually, you pretty much tested that 0.618 on the dot there. 1286. Low was 1284. Yep, you tested it, guys. That's pretty sexy. Okay. There's the confluence spot. And this is what I was saying earlier about the time. There is a method to the madness. You wait patiently for your confluence entries, and then you give it some time. And because you have time in these contracts, you're not going to be sitting there panicking, expecting the thing to move right away. Typically, it takes a few days to see the reaction really start to develop. All right. I'll show you the method to the madness, but I'm trying to describe it here, and I hope it benefits you guys. All right. So that's CLSK. I'm looking for $15 in the short term. We're going to see if you can get above there, and then maybe you start pushing back up the highs. But like I said, they haven't been moving the best with Bitcoin. Mara is something that just had an offering, and now you're almost 20% up from the low over there from yesterday, 16%. Okay, it's really not looking all that bad. Let's see how you're looking in the after hours over here, guys. It's not looking bad. 4-hour chart is not looking bad at all. But as far as I'm concerned, this thing is bullish as long as it's holding 1765, 1750, we'll call it. Stay above there. All right, you're not looking bad. You could consolidate, but you're not looking bad. You did get above the 0.786 fib, so I have to assume this dip is a buying opportunity. I think you're going higher after this. You're probably going to wind up at 2730 up here at the end of the day. You're right here at the daily 9. Get above there. Okay, get above 2096. Probably start pushing 2282. And then start pushing back up these highs, which are around $25. Those are the Bitcoin stocks. Now we're going to talk about some Henry's trade ideas for you. LLY. Daily bullish divergence sitting over here. It's the same exact thing I pointed out as the last time the daily RSI happened tapped this 20 level, which happened years ago. Okay, so we're going to put that right there. Notice how that's 10%. You see that? Okay, you see that? Well, we got to go way down for this one. Okay. We definitely pointed out this, and I thought it was going to play out exactly the same. What happened? It played out the exact same, guys. 11%. And then you went down, and then you put in your bullish divergence. Okay. Now, how far did we come down over here from this peak? I'm not saying that's going to be similar. All right. But it was a 19% move down. What did we get over here? Okay. Because this was the exact movement we talked about, like literally a few weeks back. You did end up getting the big one right here. All right. I was pointing out how premiums are really, they're expensive over here. Okay. But this 10% move on a month out would still yield you around 100%. So it did. Congrats if you played it. Well, now we got the second half of that move that we were talking about, which would create the actual buying opportunity. 16% down, but you're holding support. All right. So this is right on 71830 support. You're finding buyers there for the second day in a row. All right. They're clearly stepping in over here. And you clearly do have this daily bullish divergence. I have to assume you're going to get buyers stepping in here, and you're going to be pushing it above 7475. We're watching 786.58, and then this downtrend. Get above there, 820.73, and then 858.81. I think this is probably going to start moving back up. All right, that's how I'm thinking this is going to go. You have this going on over here. Okay. You have a bullish divergence going on right there. It marked the bottom. What do you have over here, guys? All right. You went lower with price. You went higher with the RSI. Not looking bad at all. Okay. Next one we're talking is a firm. All right. A firm, guys, this is straight momentum. All right. Get in on the dips if you want. But, at the end of the day, this thing is going straight up. I think 83 is coming. Okay. But I'll keep pointing this out as it continues showing that strength. Now, one that we definitely hammered the table on beforehand. Okay. It was on the gap up. This day right here, I was like, it's starting. Okay. Watch for the retest. We got the retest. 53.86 down to the 51.33 zone. We knew that was the buy zone over here. Worst case scenario, you were coming over here. January calls, 60C, got to $100 right here. We bottom ticked that. We sniped that. Okay. And now they're back up near 200 beans. Get up here, they'll be at like 360 beans like they were the other day. There is exactly what I was saying earlier. There's a method to the madness. You don't have to go nuts. I will show you the way. You do not have to go nuts. I will demonstrate the way in real time over here on this channel. As well as, on the Twitter and the Discord. Wherever you see me, I'll show you the way. Okay? Get up to 58.38. You're going to have a nice return over there. And then you're probably going to be on your way to $63, which is this last very little swing high right here. Okay? That's where you're paying attention to. But I think, this thing's probably headed to 70 plus. It's just going to take some time. Okay? But weekly chart just had this breakout from this 3-year base, 2.5-year base. And now we're seeing that actually start to move. Next one we're talking about is you. All right? Now we pointed this one out for the retest over here. Okay? You did not hold 1836, but what you did hold is what I preach on this channel, which is that 0.786 fib, the golden pocket. If you lose the golden pocket, which is the bottom of his 0.786 Fibonacci retracement, all right, if you don't know how to set it up, right there, okay, that's all you need. You can blur that. You could blur the one wherever that is over here, and you can make it look real pretty, okay? But you hold there, and you're not going to have 100% retracement. That is buyer's last stand. If you break there, odds are increasing that you have 100% retracement, which in this case would have been a move all the way down there. And you would not have wanted to see that. But you did hold it, and now you've reclaimed 1945 support over here. So now it's being reclaimed as support. And honestly, it looks like this thing wants to shoot up to 2132. And with how this started moving today, I assume you're going to grind higher here, back up the highs at 23.33. Patience is paid. And this is what I was saying about, give it some time. These things died, and now they're probably going to come back. All right, capital preservation. This is the way. Next one is VRT. VRT, big old move today, and you could see that volume. I got that arrow too. Okay. Big move here. Okay. You broke out. You based above it, and you broke out again. Okay? So now you're watching the most recent breakout level, pulls back 130.30. And this daily 9 right here is going to meet you halfway over the next trading session or Thursday. If it pulls back, you're going to see it meet you halfway right around 130.30. That is the next buying opportunity over here. That's your pullback opportunity. Notice how you didn't even get it over here? I don't know if you're going to get it. But with this volume, I have to assume this pullback is going to be eaten. Now we're talking KO. KO, guys. This is actually, thank you, Discord member who pointed this out, guys. I do take a request as soon as I can. So, I get a lot of trade ideas thrown at me, and I am very appreciative of that. I very much so am. I can't, always watch all the charts in the world, but it helps to, have everyone watching, and then I review the charts, and then boom, I have it on my radar. KO looks pretty sweet. Last time you hit the daily RSI smack dead on 1750 down here. And over there, you put in a bottom. Short-term bottom over here. Major bottom before a ripperoonie over here. You're also holding that 0.786 fib and the 61.62 support that was found over here. It's not the worst look at all. Get above the daily 9, this blue line here. Okay. And you're probably going to push 64.27. And then get above there, which will have the 21 EMA right there. Get above there. We're watching 66.58 and then 68.86. I'm really liking this. Last one I got for you. Well, we got one more after this, but Upstart. Same situation as RK over there and IWM, guys. You had a big breakout. You came back, retested it. You were finding buyers there, and you're still holding it, okay? You had this hammer candlestick over here, this pin bar candlestick, and you're just kind of basing out here, but you're flipping previous resistance into support. We like to see it. We really like to see it above 72.58. You get a daily close up there, guys. You have this gap to fill, but you're probably going to start making your way back above 80 bucks. All right, you're going to have right here. Okay, so above 72.58, you have 76.63, 82.25, and 86.07. Next one is one we've been putting on your radar for so long at this point, which is Uber. You finally had this thing come back down here, okay? And I was looking for this over here to be a bearish trade idea pitched you, but then it was also going to turn into a bullish trade idea. Once we came down to 67.12 support, you just haven't been able to do it. I'm guessing you're about to hit that. Daily RSI is going to be in oversold territory. You found buyers over here starting to step in for a decent sized bounce. Okay, 10%. You had buyers stepping over here for a really, really decent bounce. 30%. I have to assume we're about to see the same. Okay, I think we are going to see buyers down here at 67 bucks. Okay, and that would literally be the full retracement from here up to here. It aligns right with 67.12 support. So you watch that level. I got the alert. And it's one I've been waiting on for a long time. Down here, maybe buyers sweep this over here. Daily RSI gets into oversold territory, and we see buyers start stepping back in. I'm liking this one. And then from there, if you break the downtrend, we could start looking for a push up to the following level: 71.90, 74.99, 77.14, and 78.80. Boom. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something in today's video. If you're not actively participating in these markets and making money off these videos, I at least hope you are learning from these videos. I truly believe all someone has to do to develop this skill set is watch these videos and follow along in real time with how we do this, okay? We do this thing 5 days a week. If you are new here, I think you're going to enjoy your time here. So hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't already, remember to hit that like button. The YouTube algorithm has a smile on its face, and that'll put a smile on my face. And I appreciate being happy. With that being said, guys, I'll catch you all on the next one. Again, we're starting that Black Friday sale tonight. It is code Black Friday for 50% off of your first payment on any of the payment plans. With that being said, catch you all on the next one. Peace.